Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Saturday, December 4th. Now, of course, we don't have any open meetings to tell you about today, so we're going to jump to who's on our show. We have Dan Oweiler, who is here from Sterling Financial, and he is going to talk to us about cost of living. And we know that cost of living is going up and up these days, so we're going to talk to you a little bit about that and how Social Security plays an important part. And then we talked to Laura on behalf of the Equestrian Center, and she's got lots of great things to talk about. They're doing a lot of improvements out there, and they just continue to make that place better and better. All right, let's take a look at our weather. We are looking at sunny skies for the next few days. We are looking at a very nice day today, 64, 48, and then Sunday, 74, 50. And then Monday, we're getting a little warmer, 80, 54. So looking with very nice skies. If you're traveling in the state of California this weekend, take a look at these numbers. Beaches here, 72, 55. Santa Barbara, 68, 53. San Diego, 62, 50. Tahoe, which is the picture in the back that you can see, 55, 32. Mammoth, 53, 28. Big Bear, 55, 30. Palm Springs, 82, 60. And Las Vegas, 73, 45, so a little chilly overnight there. Our sunrise this morning was at 6:40, and our sunset will be at 4:42. And thank you, Mark, for sending in this beautiful shot down there at the Newport Pier. We've been having some beautiful sunsets lately because the skies have been clear down there. If you have a photo you would like to share with us, please email it to lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. All right, when we come back, we will have Sterling Financial, Dan Oweiler. Stick around.
Been working with retirees since 1984. I specialize in protecting people's money, setting up a secure retirement income stream for them, and making sure their money is there when they need it. I started Sterling Financial Advisors under the premise that we not only needed quality service for clients out there in the financial industry, but ethical standards as well.
We don't have any monopoly on the investments we use. What we do have a monopoly on is the integrity and how we treat our clients.
Welcome back. As I mentioned, we have Dan Oweiler here on behalf of Sterling Financial Advisors. Well, how are you?
Good to see you, Lisa.
Good to see you,
Hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
I did. I had a great Thanksgiving, and of course, we're coming up on the holidays, and the New Year's right around the corner.
Right.
And, you know, interesting news that you can help share with us is that recently, Social Security, the percentage and the amount has been increased.
Cost of living.
Cost of living has been increased. So, you know, I wish kind of the employers would sort of take that into consideration as well.
Right. Yeah, I thought it'd be interesting to talk a little bit about the history of the cost of living increases. It only started in, the cost of living adjustments for Social Security only started in 1975.
Okay.
So prior to that, it came about in 1944 with President Roosevelt. He instituted right after the Great Depression, and everybody was struggling with things. And Social Security was meant for a safety net for those that didn't have enough money. It wasn't meant to us to retire on. But ever since 1944 up until 1972, actually, it was kind of on the whims of Congress to give adjustments to the benefits. In 1970, when we went off the gold standard, inflation started to really kick in.
Right.
And so Congress decided to pass the Social Security COLA law, which went into effect in 1975.
Okay.
And so 1975 is when the first cost of living adjustment came into play.
Okay.
And during that time, we can see, you know, in the late 70s, early 80s, when Jimmy Carter, and we all remember those inflationary years, gas lines and things like that.
Right.
You know, I think one year was over 14% cost of living adjustment.
Yeah.
Well, that was crazy, you know. And after Carter left, Reagan came in and kind of got inflation under control. And
Right.
over that last few years, you know, it hasn't been too bad. But we're seeing that today, you know.
Well, then maybe we should see more than 5.9, because as we are going through these months, I mean, we're looking at gas prices way higher,
Yeah,
and certainly higher in California.
Unfortunately, how Social Security determines cost of living, they exclude certain items.
I see.
One of them is Medicare premiums. Medicare premiums, if they go up, they take that out in determining cost of living adjustments. And so there are 3 or 4 things that are conveniently left out of the cost of living adjustment. You and I, you know, year and a half, 2 years ago, were paying $3 a gallon for gas.
Right.
Now it's almost $5 a gallon.
Exactly.
You know, and
Right.
and so we're looking at, you know, some things aren't included in the cost of living. However, this 5.9% that they're going to be getting this next year is the largest increase in 4 decades.
Right.
I mean, you go back, I think we have
Yeah.
a chart here that goes back to the beginning of 1975. And I think in the last 4 decades, I think there was one that was 5.8, but I think in 4
Right.
decades.
That was 2008, but that was when we had all that housing stuff happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's the largest increase, and that's great for those people who are on Social Security. It probably should have been 10%
Well,
this
yeah.
year. You
Well,
know?
I would agree, and this is across the United States. So if
Correct.
you're living in, you know, Mississippi,
Right.
that 5.9 is, you know, it's great. But if you're living
Not
in
that
California,
the people in Mississippi are any different than us, but the
well,
cost
in terms
of living.
cost of living, for sure.
Exactly.
So that's what I mean, is that the cost of living is different in Mississippi than it is here in California.
You might be paying $600 for a mortgage, and here you're paying
Right.
$2,600 for a mortgage.
Exactly.
And
I wonder, has there ever been any discussion about Social Security kind of doing it by state? Has there ever been that
I haven't
discussion?
heard that. That would be interesting.
Everybody might move here, though.
Well, yeah, I might not want to move to California just because of the cost of living, but
Right.
you know, you're probably, you know, that might not be a bad thing, but I doubt that will ever come into play because it's a federal program and they have to do it
Right.
for. But I think on my chart, I think since 1975, over the last 47 years, the cost of living adjustment has been, you know, 3.6% or something.
Is that like on average?
Yeah, on average over the last 45 years. Over the last 20 years, I think it's been 2.3. Over the last 10 years, it's 2.6 or 2.3. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think that it's important that people don't count on the 5.9% overall,
Right.
depending upon what inflation does.
Right.
And the government or the administrations obviously have things that they can do to impact inflation.
Well, exactly.
They have different approaches about doing that.
Right.
You know, energy, interest rates, those things like that. But the purchasing power of Social Security has lost about 40%. It hasn't kept up with inflation because of the Medicare premiums are excluded from that, and there's a lot of things. In our projections, we only use a 1% cost of living just because anything over and above that is kind of candy on the cake as far as our projections go. We don't want to use a 5% cost of living adjustment to Social Security in our projections because it may or may not come into play.
Right.
There were some years that was even zero.
Right.
I think 2015 it was zero that we had cost of living adjustments.
Right.
So
Right.
we didn't get anything, but that doesn't mean prices still didn't go up.
It may not have, well, yes, but it may not have been as needed as it is these days. One thing that you mentioned, that Social Security should not be looked at, you know, as something that we're relying on to live on, but
unfortunately,
lots
about
of people are.
50% of retirees depend on Social Security as their main source
Right.
of income in retirement, and that's nationwide. That's not everywhere, but but it was never meant to do that.
Yeah.
It was meant to be kind of a safety net for those people that, and you know, politicians have made promises over the year that our Social Security would never be taxed, you know? Well, the problem with that is those politicians died and new ones came in.
Exactly.
And so we've got a new set of politicians. Going off the gold standard impacted our inflation because our dollar is only guaranteed by the promise of the U.S. government versus the gold that they had backing it.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that come into play, and in our retirement planning, Social Security should be a part of that.
Yeah.
But based upon the numbers, they say it's going to run out in 2033.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's probably going to go down as our cost of living increases continue to go and the Social Security fund starts to get depleted more quickly.
Right.
The other impact is going to be how many baby boomers are retiring in the next decade.
Right.
They say 80 million of us are going to be retiring in the next decade, going from paying into Social Security to collecting Social Security.
Right.
And so that's going to impact it quite a bit as well. So
Exactly.
when it first started, I think we discussed, some time back that when Social Security first came into play, there was about 40 employees supporting one person on Social Security. Now it's 3. So the number of people supporting a benefit has dropped from 40 to 3.
Right.
And so it's just, something's going to hit the fan here pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's very concerning for most of our seniors who are relying on that. So
Right.
we appreciate you giving us a good overview.
Well, it's not an exciting thing, but cost of livings are always good for Social Security
Exactly.
benefits and retirees, and I thought it would be good to have a history on that.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you for the time.
Hey, good to be here.
All right.
All right.
And we'll be right back after this.
Hi folks, this is Dan O'Weiler with Sterling Financial Advisors. We've been around for a long time, been on ThisDay with Lisa, and just wanted you to know that we're still in business, even through the pandemic. We still have the opportunity to now meet with people individually in person, and we'd like to invite you to give us a call if it would make some sense. If you're doing some planning for retirement, please give us a call. We'll be happy to meet with you. Thanks so much.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Laura Covarrubias. There we go. And she's with the Equestrian Center. Well, Laura, thank you so much for joining me today.
I'm so happy to be here, Lisa.
And I love your background. You're outdoors. It's been warm weather, so I'm sure you've been enjoying it over there at the Equestrian Center. And you've got a lot of things to tell us about. So first, why don't we talk a little bit about some of the improvements that you guys have been doing over there?
Thank you so much, Lisa. We've been working hard over at the Equestrian Center to continue to renovate and upgrade the experience for residents who are both visiting or people who are participating in our lesson programs or boarding horses. We've been able to accomplish so much in the past year, and those improvements continue right now. We are currently renovating our trail system, which is very exciting, not just for the folks who engage in the activities specific to equestrian, but for the horse riders, but also people in the village who want to walk and enjoy our trail system. We're currently mulching all the footing, so it's nice and soft and beautiful to walk in. And have been working in conjunction with landscape to beautify the whole trail system. It's really coming along, and we're going to be creating a trail map and publishing that to all the residents so everyone can enjoy.
Oh, that's great. Now, if people did want to participate in trail rides, you do have a program for that, right?
So we encourage our lesson participants to go on trail rides. It's all part of the learning experience. And most of our horses are experienced trail horses. So when people come in and start in the lesson program, as soon as they're able, we encourage them to come out on guided trails. It's really beautiful and so healthy to get out in the fresh air. So I think everyone really enjoys it.
That's great. Now you guys have you started up everything now, or are you planning to?
We have been going since June teaching lessons. So we started with a soft opening. Now we still have a waiting list because we do have a limited number of horses. So everyone's been very nice to be patient, but we are doing a full 5 days of lessons. And we're really enjoying watching our riders develop.
Now, are you guys still doing that paint program that you had?
The Art Association painters are welcome on the property on Monday mornings. So every week we have someone in the office waiting to greet them if they want to come with their easels, and we'll turn out horses for them. They can pick a spot on the property to paint and draw. And it's my understanding that they're going to auction off some of the art, which is really exciting for the benefit of the Equestrian Center. So that's a pretty fun project.
That's great. Now, you have added a few horses.
We have 3 new horses since I've talked to you last. One is Murphy. He is an appendix quarter horse, a 15-year-old. He's beautiful and just started in lessons. Another one that I provided a picture of that is really special to us is Remy. And you see one of our riders, Donna, on him. Enjoying one of his first lessons. He's an 8-year-old quarter horse that was donated by one of our residents. So that's new. And we were thankful to receive that donation.
Isn't that nice? I mean, that is awesome when you guys get horses that, you know, they're not super old and they'll still be around for some time and very useful.
Absolutely. We have a couple of young horses now. So that's exciting for the future. We have one last horse of the group of 3 that's actually an 8-year-old Andalusian mare that we're training to be a dressage horse as we bring in other disciplines. So something fun for the future.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Now you also have an event that's coming up. When will that be?
So we're actually building the event calendar. The next large event on the property will be our Easter event, which is coming back. I know people have missed it, and it's so neat to get back to a little bit more normal. And after that, we're actually going to be adding a Renaissance fair, which should include all of the clubs. We're going to invite all of them to participate and have a booth. We're going to have hopefully theater and music and some exciting horses in costumes dressed up in Renaissance type gear. So look for the event calendar to come out pretty soon.
I love that idea. I've been to one once. It was way out in the Glen Helen, you know, out there. And oh my gosh, it was fun. So I look forward to that everybody will really enjoy it. So thank you.
Oh, well, awesome. Thank you.
You guys are doing a lot of work over there. We appreciate that. And thank you for the information.
Thank you, Lisa. We're so excited to share it with everybody. So anytime people want to come by and do a tour, they're at 12:30 and 2 o'clock Wednesday through Sunday.
Perfect. All right, Laura, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. And we'll be right back after this.
Captain America.
Watch HGTV.
Netflix.
Hearing aids require a lot of attention. Don't underestimate the problems earwax can cause. Come in and see inside your own ear canals to find out how much blockage you have. Debris like earwax can cause up to 45% reduction in amplification. Your hearing aids may be able to be significantly improved to help you hear conversations clearly with a simple office visit. Every day, patients say, "Oh my gosh, that sounds so much better." Stop in or call us today for a complimentary cleaning and ear inspection. Tell them Stuart sent you.
Okay, so we have some other additional ideas for you to keep your groceries fresher longer. Now, the first one is you're going to ditch your plastic for mason jars, glass mason jars. Now, the nice thing is you're not being exposed to the BPA that can be found in plastic containers, plus the mason jars don't stain. So if you put like spaghetti sauce, that is such a better way to go, because often I put spaghetti sauce into those Tupperwares and the thing is just ruined because they really do stain them. Plus, also, it's going to last a few days longer in the glass. Now, you can find a 4-pack for $12.30 on Amazon. Another idea is to use reusable produce bags. Now, they are helpful to allow your food to breathe and keep it fresh longer. Your food will often look better, taste better, and last longer once you get harmful plastics out of your routine. Now, another interesting thing is you can shrink wrap the crown of the bananas. So you would take your little shrink wrap and you would just tie it along the top of your banana bunch when you get it home, and it helps it to not release ethanol gas that is inside your banana. So I love that idea, because I swear, I think I get that banana home and by 2 days later, it's already spoiled. So, especially because you're leaving it out on the counter and not putting it in your refrigerator. Now, this is an interesting thing for your onions. I've never heard of this. Drop an onion in each foot, tie it, and this is in the foot of pantyhose. So if you have some pantyhose lying around that you don't use anymore, you may want to give them a wash and then go ahead and put in your onions. You're going to drop them into each foot, tie a knot in between, and then continue the pattern on up the leg. Now, this is supposed to keep your onions dry, breathable, separated, and if you suspend them in the air, it maximizes their shelf life. Not sure how they're going to look in your kitchen, but you know, you never know. Whatever you're going to do to keep your onions dry. Wrapping your greens in foil will help them last longer in the refrigerator. So when you wrap them in foil like broccoli, lettuce, and celery, it will last for more than a month in your refrigerator. Now, placing your tomatoes upside down on the counter or in the refrigerator is a better way to go. So if your stem was removed before the purchase, place the tomato upside down so the air won't seep into the small opening, which expedites ripening. Well, that's sure cool. Also, store leftover items in airtight glass containers, as I mentioned, using some of your Tupperwares. They end up staining the inside, and plus keeping them in these glass containers won't allow chemicals to seep into your food and will keep the air out even better. Tidying up and organizing your refrigerator will not only allow you to see your items much better, but it will make sure that other things don't contaminate each other, and it reduces the clutter and allows the circulation of the cold air in your refrigerator to make sure all of your items stay fresh. So there's a couple of kitchen tidbits for you to keep your groceries to last longer.
You don't got this much in it.
And maybe you move back.
Some people just go there immediately.
At Kaiser Permanente, your entire care team is connected. So even a routine appointment can save your life.
I am
I'm so glad you did this mammogram so we can detect it early.
Everything looks great with your eyes, and I see you're due for a mammogram. Should we schedule it?
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
A leader in the prevention, early detection, and treatment of cancer.
Welcome back. Our movie for today is called Respect, and that is starring Jennifer Hudson, and that is brought to you by Kaiser Permanente, and you can watch it at 2 p.m. with subtitles and 6 p.m. without subtitles. So enjoy that movie for today. And just a reminder that today you can do a drive-through at Crossline Church, and that is the toy drive that is being done by all of the folks down there. Of course, our Orange County Fire Authority, K-Wave, Spark of Love, ABC7. So all of those people came together to make this happen. And if you don't make it on Friday or Saturday, no worries. You can do a drop off at our local fire station because they'll take the toy. So no worries if you missed today. All right, and then just to let you know that Thursday, December 9th, is the Grief and Loss event, and it's managing grief and loss during the holidays. And this is being put on by our Florence Sylvester Senior Center, and the guest speaker is Becky LaMaca. And if you want to know more information about that, you can call 949-380-0155, extension 21, and learn all about that. Plus, also, I did a segment with Becky LaMaca on your health, and you can watch the full interview of how that goes on Wednesdays and Saturday. All right, one other item I wanted to let you know about is you can celebrate Christmas in the islands, and that is Ohana style, if you will. Saddleback Church right here in Laguna Woods, and that is tomorrow, December 5th at 9 o'clock and also at 11 in Clubhouse 5. And then one last thing I want to let you know about is It's a Wonderful Life production is being put on by our very own Old Pros. And that is going to be in the Performing Arts Center's main stage. Tickets are $12 and $15. If you want more information, you can go to ocoldpros.org. All right, let's take a look at our weather before we head out for the rest of our weekend. Things are looking quite nice out. We are looking at 64, 48, 74, 50, 80, 54. And then if you're traveling in California, take a look at these numbers. Very nice around town here. 72, 55, Santa Barbara 68, 53, San Diego 62, 50, Tahoe 55, Mammoth 53, Big Bear 55, Palm Springs 82, 60, and Las Vegas 73, 45. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you right here at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Have a great day. Bye-bye.